Hi, my name is Lauren Traversa. I'm from Team 33, and our ethics case study was Gilbane Gold. The Gilbane Gold case study takes place in this town called Gilbane, where they take the sludge byproduct from their sewage system and turn it into fertilizer and sell it as a tax break for the residents. On average, they say that it saves a family of four $300 per year by selling this sludge. Then we have Z Corp. They're a tech manufacturer that owns a factory in this town of Gilbane. Upon moving to the town, they were promised tax breaks, which is why they ultimately decided on that town. But after moving to the town, Gilbane imposed regulations on pollutants that are 10 times stricter than federal levels. This means that the money that they were saving on tax breaks was being spent on new water purification systems to meet these strict standards that go to the town of Gilbane saving money on taxes. So ultimately, they're paying for their own tax breaks. Specifically in this case study, we followed David Jackson, who's a junior engineer at Z Corp. He, along with a consulting engineer, have found out through a new method of testing that Z Corp is currently exceeding the legal limits slightly on the amount of pollutants that they're allowed to have. When the consulting engineer brings this up to the executives at Z Corp, he's let go and told that they have engineers on their team who can take care of things, but he's pretty sure that he's fired because he brought this to their attention and they wanted to make it quiet. In the process of him being fired, he even calls his severance money hush money and says he wants nothing to do with it. At this point, the consulting engineer warns David that his name is going on these papers that he's signing and that he's going to be next if he doesn't follow up, but he'll lose his license if the town catches him. At this point, David wants the company to fix things. He brings the issue up to executives and tells them that we need to fix the water purification system, but they say it will be too expensive to fix. So their solution is to just add more water to the wastewater byproduct because the law regulates the amount of particulate per volume of water rather than total particulate. Initially, this makes David uncomfortable, but he's still considering staying quiet, following the word of the law rather than the intent to protect people from heavy metals. Ultimately, David makes his decision once he finds out that Z Corp is increasing production by 500%. This means that the amount of arsenic and lead going into the water supply will also increase by 500%. Z Corp wants to force David to sign the papers, but signing the papers puts his career in jeopardy. But whistleblowing risks all future employment as well. He doesn't want to become blackballed in this industry that he's just getting into. Either decision puts David in a position where he goes against the NSPE Code of Ethics. One, to hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, and the other, to act for each employer or client as faithful agents and trustees. with the first code of the safety, health, welfare, and welfare of the public, he's mostly concerned about the safety and health of the residents of Gilbane. And Z Corp says that they're concerned about the welfare, the financial welfare, because they're one of the top providers of jobs in the area. And if they put the money into fixing this issue, they'll likely have to close the factory, leading to many residents losing their jobs. But that's a big decision, choosing between the financial welfare and the medical welfare of these residents. In terms of acting for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees, that one's pretty clear. But do you follow that when they are putting the safety of your town at risk? We at Team 33 think that David Jackson ultimately did the right thing, but the town of Gilbane and Z Corp acted unfairly. Gilbane lured Z Corp into the town by promising them tax breaks, then imposed these strict regulations that meant that ultimately they were spending more money by being in Gilbane than they would have if they had moved to any other town. In this, Gilbane acted unethically. Z Corp also acted unfairly and unethically by firing the consulting engineer who had not signed off on the reports. While we don't think it was wrong that David Jackson went to the media with this, we do think that there could have been alternative paths, like going to the city itself to try and cut a deal with Gilbane, either get further tax breaks that they could use that money in creating new water purification systems, or in temporarily stopping the sale of Gilbane gold while they got their pollution problem under control, making sure that the town stayed safe while giving them an extended timeline to fix these issues that would decrease their financial burden of having to build everything so quickly. That is the Gilbane Gold ethics case study. Thank you.